Hello everyone, welcome back to Old Dad's Modeling Mess. And in today's video, I bring you the first half of my Sherman Forgotten in the Jungle diorama. Today, I'm just going to be working on the base for the diorama, mainly adding just the plants and stuff. As you guys all know, I've already made several videos on how I think about laying out things, the placement of it, but normally either I skip me adding it or, I'll show like I glue one piece on and then I'll skip to the end where I'm adding the like last piece or two or whatever. But I wanted to show where I'm actually adding this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, as you can see, off camera, I have already made the base, primed, painted it. I've added the static grass and the baby palm trees. Now, if you noticed, the last palm trees I used look different. These here, I actually went in and remade the tops of them to make them look a little bit better. Because I agree, the other ones that they didn't look all that great. So now another thing you'll see is there are a lot of bare spots on the base there, and that's because I think it was in my Type 97 diorama. I had originally I tried to leave that area when I spread out all the glue and stuff for the static grass. I tried to leave the areas where the stuff was going to be at bare, but glue still got there. And the static grass, when everything dried and stuff, created an issue. So this one here, I actually taped everything off. I cut out little squares and circles and stuff like that and put that down. Then I spread the glue. I did the static grass, and once that was all done, then I pulled the tape off, so I still had my marks. Also, you see that I'm using super glue, and I've used regular glue before, and I've used super glue before, but for me, the super glue just works better. It's almost instant, and I think it gives it a stronger hold. But, now these here are actually the same plants that I used in the Type 97 diorama, and I did do a little bit of change on them, and that is I made some that were bigger and some that were smaller, just so everything wasn't exact. And I think it worked out really well. I also, before I get going too far, I did take a picture of how I had things laid out before I added the static grass, and I used that as a reference guide to make sure that I got the right plant in the right spot. Spoiler alert. Yep, I didn't. But I'm not going to lie. Half of the fern plants are one size, they're a little bit smaller. Same with the little flower things. And in the picture, they kind of look the same. And I'll put that here for you guys so you guys can see that. But yeah, it was, as you can see, yeah. But in the end, I think it turned out really, really nice. So I'm not complaining. But yeah, this is actual real time too. I think it took me like 15 minutes to glue everything down, and that's because as you see, I'm actually holding it in place to make sure that it doesn't pop up from any static grass. I'll pull it back off and I'll re-glue it again. And yeah, I wanted all the plants and stuff on this one here to make sure that they stuck down and there wasn't any issues with them popping off later on. And that actually does come into play, and it works really well. Especially when I go to glue the Sherman down in that big spot there. I do bump some of the plants and stuff like that, and luckily they stayed stuck. Now, I know I'm using 3D printed stuff here, but in my defense, I have not found any photo etch or DIY fern stuff that has the detail that these do. These here were a free download off of Thingiverse, I believe it was, and these things are nice. They are really nice. They print up well, and they've got lots of detail to them, and I really like them. I've tried making them out of paper before, and I'm sure, as you guys can imagine, once paper gets wet, because paint is wet, it wrinkles and it just doesn't work. So, yeah, the photo etch plants and stuff like that, they're just flat. There's no roundness or anything like that. I mean, yeah, they've got good detail, but I mean, you know, I haven't found any good ones that are photo etch. Now, if you guys know of any that have good detail on them, let me know in the comments down below, because I have no problems using those. I mean, if they're better than what I have now, I mean, these here are free. I just print them up. So, yeah, that's good. The tree stump there and that bark, those are, of course, 3D printed, but I did try, before I went to that, I did try a branch, and I tried at the junction of a branch to make a stump, and I couldn't get it to work right. The base of it, where the roots and stuff were at, it wasn't there. It was just too round. And so this here worked out really well. It's got lots of detail in it, and the only thing I don't like about it is the top is completely flat, like it was cut with a chainsaw. But you know how that goes. Other than that, I really like that tree stump. Now the bark, I spent probably 3 hours, 4 hours trying to get a piece of bark to work. And the stuff that's on the little tree limbs that I was trying to use was just way too thin to use. And regular bark was actually way too thick. And I spent, I'm going to say, probably a good 2.5 hours just trying to use my Dremel to thin out the inside of the bark, and it was still too thick. I did get close once though, or I did get really close once, and it failed because I got too thin in a spot and it broke. So yeah, I'm not done with all this though. I am going to try more with the tree stump. The one thing I didn't think of was maybe using some clay, but I don't know how that would work. So that's going to be a whole different test thing that I try out. And then the bark, I'm thinking I might be able to this spring, when you get new branches and stuff like that, or the little saplings that are growing wild, all that stuff. Maybe I can get one of those, and while the bark is still green or brand new, strip some of that off. That might work. I don't know. But regular bark, that didn't work. It was too thick. I I even went as far as trying. I went out and I was looking in the wife's flower beds and stuff like that, and at some of the mulch, and most of the mulch is just wood chips, and there were a few pieces of bark in there, but those things were even thicker. I mean, they must have come off of a big ass tree or something. Yeah. So something to something to try later on. You know, I'll get it eventually, but right now this is what I had, so it works. Again, end to end, I actually think that it comes out really good. The I also I don't think it's in this one here. I don't even know if I have video of it when I added the tree that I made for free uh, to it, right about, well, right behind that, more closer to the corner, but that's where the tree that I made in my previous video goes, and I really like it. Now, I don't just use all 3D printed stuff. I do have some of the other stuff there that I intend on using. The tall grass, I made that out of a paintbrush. In fact, actually, I'm sure you guys actually, yeah, the where I made my own static grass. Same brush. This was before I used it to make the static grass. I made some tall grass, and then I did take the I bundled them up and I dipped them in some 3D printer resin, the bottom of them, and then I cured the resin. That way, there it's stuck together. That worked really well to make a base that you could glue down. And then the vines and stuff, those are those dried, I guess, dead vines or whatever that you can get on Amazon for dioramas. So I painted the tall grass and the vines green. That way there it fits more in line with the jungle theme. The plants, this time the ferns and the flowers, I kept them all I think it was, I used the dark Luftwaffe green, and then I just dry brushed them with my wife's yellow paint, and they came out really, really, really nice. The detail on the ferns is just amazing, I think. And that's actually before, yeah, those were before I got my good dry brush set. So I almost, well, yeah, now I kind of wish that I had those. Maybe I'll print some more up and try with the good dry brushes, because those turned out good. I wonder what they'd look like with a good set of dry brushes. Here I'm just thinking of stuff. Now that's that wood, aspen wood or whatever it is, that green stuff that I picked up from the hobby store a while back. I'm just thinking of ideas of what I want to maybe put stuff, because I want vines in there and stuff like that. The ivy too. So I'm just tinkering around here, messing around. But yeah, this one here, I think I was able to put quite a bit of stuff in this base. And it's not done yet. There's still more, but that will be for the next video. Not a bunch, but there will be more. I do have on the plate there, I do have some palm leaves that'll go down on the ground and on the Sherman itself. Of course, I'll do the dried leaves that's fallen off trees and stuff like that, and other stuff. But right now, like I said, I'm just tinkering around, placing stuff, seeing if I like where it's at, with the tall grass, that is, and the vines, because you gotta do that, right? Excuse me, sorry guys. Yeah, this weather here in Illinois really sucks. In fact, actually, it sucks so much that I think tomorrow is supposed to be 70, and today it's like high 40s, low 50s. So yeah, it's just gonna make it even worse for me. Yay, love this. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. As always, thank you guys for watching my videos. If you like this sort of stuff, please don't be afraid. Drop a like and a comment down below. If you're not already, I don't know why you're not. You're watching it. I've wasted your time. Click that subscribe button. It's free. Doesn't cost nothing. This tells YouTube that you like this sort of stuff. Plus, it helps the channel grow, and we're growing. Thank you guys. You're awesome. Love y'all. Also, down below is a link to our Discord. Click on that. Just like subscribing. It is free. Come in, hang out. More importantly, post pictures of your builds. We have guys in there doing some amazing stuff. I mean, it's just, wow. They're really, really, really good. It's worth joining just to see what they're doing. So, stay tuned to the end here because there is a preview of next week's video. That's right. That means I have this wrapped up already. Yeah. I absolutely think it came out good. And if you guys haven't noticed yet, you see the shininess? I'm keeping that. That's right. I'm keeping the shininess because I want it to look like it rained. So, until next video, guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.